So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't. Can you see that at all? What I just did there on the surface? Okay. So what's happening? So what's happening here? I'll explain the filler in a minute again. A short period. So here you sand it through. Here you sand it through. Here and here. Okay, and maybe here. And here's your putty. So when they apply in this thickness too much, what's happening then? After the flash off time, I always ask the painter, when do you apply the second coat of your filler? Because then he would say, okay, until it gets matte. I say, okay, how long did it take? And they probably, most of them would reply between 8 to 12 minutes. And at that moment, when he says this, then you know his first coat is much too thick. Okay, and he will have then automatically mapping. All right, and then the second coat, the thick coat, the third coat, and you'll have lots of problems with sagging and dropping and everything because it's not, it's not getting thoroughly dry as it should. Now, coming back to the first coat. The first coat on the side, if you look at the side, it's literally similar to, say, a bridge. So here are your piles, say, more or less. I'll overdo it a little bit. Not too wet and also not too dry. Okay, this is your first coat. Now this will dry in roughly, as I said, 20 to 30 seconds. You can touch it. It's not dry, but dry enough for then the real coat. Okay, now your real coat now is doing literally this. Okay, so here's your thicker coat. Okay, and do you see that?
I see that. Just going back, those vertical lines or
coats. Oh, okay. These
that's
are like
it's really rough. It's really rough and sticking up. Okay, that's what that represents.
Yeah. It's a little bit open. I've done it, obviously a little bit wider so you can see it better.
Okay.
So what's happening now? These pieces, what are here, are say like this. Okay, and now your real thicker coat is on here. Now you have stability. Okay, instead of your first coat, the second coat, and third coat too thick, then you have here. If you pile up a lot of cans on each other, they will literally fall over. Okay, if I explain this way. But here you have the best stability. But as I said, not too wet and not too dry. But I will show in a spray booth anyway what I mean with the first coat. Okay, very, very important with the filler. If you don't want to have, but also you don't have any say mapping on the bonnet or surface what you've actually sprayed. Okay, understandable?
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, now I'll come back here again. I'll quickly mention the 4200, but I'll speak now fast because now we're recording, so you have it also on recording. There's 4 colors, 4200. You have light gray, dark gray, black, and white. Mixing ratio is 4:1 plus 10%. High build filler up to 450 microns. You can't apply directly to metal or aluminium or galvanized surface or plastic. But if you have the size of, say, more or less this here or a palm size, then it's possible because here you're actually building around this area. Here you are building over here a bridge, which is now making it stable that it won't come off. Otherwise, if the area is too big, bare metal or aluminium, it would just peel off. So it's not for that kind of surfaces. In summer, I do say use fast hardener. Then it's next day or next morning. It is dry. In winter, extra fast. Okay, I'm talking, when I'm saying winter, I'm speaking +5 to minus, I don't know. Well, it shouldn't be minus anyway in the body shop, but it can go to 0. So that's why extra fast in winter. Okay, 1.6 I majorly use, but it's also possible to use 1.7. And I know lots of people like to use 1.8 nozzle for the filler. Okay, that was a quick extra.
Okay, a question. That filler basically needs to cure overnight in order to prevent showing shrinking later
Well,
on in a month or two, or what type of filler is that?
this is a
Because
normal.
there's some fillers out there where they obviously don't shrink and show any scratch marks down the road. So that's not.
What I mean with what I mean with shrinking, as I at the beginning, as I said, which wasn't on the recording. The problem here is with any filler, well, lots of fillers. If you apply too much, then it would just literally sag into, say, scratches, whatever, but not immediately. It would take half a year, maybe even 1 year, because it's not thoroughly dried or not correctly dried. If it's dry, it has the right temperature, you won't have this, say, sagging or shrinking. This doesn't sag or shrink anyway. But if the surf or if it's not thoroughly completely through dry, then we'll have this problem because the drying is actually, I'm not saying when it's drying it's shrinking, but it has to be thoroughly completely through dry. Then you won't have a problem. Then it's stable. Okay, so you're sanding the top, but underneath it's still soft. No, it's not correctly dry. That's why it has to be correctly dry. And here is perfect. Okay, 20 degrees. Well, normally we speak on 20 degrees all the time. Normally, but I know it's not 20 degrees at night in the body shop. Some people dry it with infrared immediately, no problem at all. Or some do it in the oven, no problem. But I know lots of people, they splash it on the car and leave it overnight to dry, then they want to sand it next morning because they want to save, I don't know, heating or whatever. Okay? This is with any filler drying overnight. Clear?
Okay, yep.
Okay. Come to I've just explained the two other fillers. We also have bigger sizes, 4200. It's quite obvious. I only have here one liter cans. Our 4270 or 4280. I don't think you have this. Not sure. Yeah. Alex is saying no. Just to show you these two products. Okay. This one is more, say, white, and this one is black. All right.
Okay.
Now, this product you can spray on bare metal, galvanized surface, aluminium, and also plastic. Plastic, you have to be very careful because there are some plastics which have been, remade or recycled. There's a lot of, say, not good stuff inside there. That's why I would do a test there. But always better is always, say, a plastic primer and then filler, whatever. That's always, say, the safest way. Here you'd have to test well, the major common plastic you can spray on with this product. But I always test before because I don't want to have any, say, Überraschung. Überraschung. Surprises. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. 1.6, 1.7, no problem at all. Here, also exactly the same, say, application-wise. A thin coat, not too wet, not too dry. Then the second coat. The second coat, you could literally, if you do the first coat correctly, you could actually take it and throw it on the surface because you did the first step correctly. Okay.
Yes,
Michael,
what you want to do is have it horizontal and put so much on that it's self-leveling, and then it's perfect surface, right?
also yes, and it all has the stability. The stability. Now you're taking the mickey out of my perfect surface.
So between the first coat and second coat, what is the drying time?
Drying time, I wouldn't say. I would say flash off time. Talking where I'm going to show in a minute is around 20, maximum 30 seconds.
Okay.
Then I know it's not too thick. And if it's still not, well, I'm not saying dry as in, no, you can sand it, but it's for the next, say, the real coat. Okay. Black and white. And here the hardener is also 407. Okay. And it's a has a very high body inside. And if I open the can, or maybe you can hear it, you have here, from here, roughly, up to here is liquid. Down here is the whole product because it's very, how do you say, it has a very high body. Now, if you listen here, okay, it's very thin. But when it's mixed together, it's okay. But you don't have it anyway. But just in case you do have it, I would open it anyway to show you. It's when you open it and stir it and pull it up, it looks like chewing gum. Okay, and it's very good product. But and everybody gets scared. All the painters, they open it, say, "Oh, it's done. It's off or whatever." But it's not. You really have to stir it, and then better or even better is stir it and have it in the mixing machine all the time. So every day when they're coming in and mixing, then it's also mixing again the filler. Okay, so it doesn't settle down again. All right. So this is the high premium filler. Actually, it's my favorite. That's why I like it so much. You see here.
Yeah, favorite.
Now come to also I would say it's also a very good innovation. The 4400. It's a waterborne primer. Okay. This you can spray on aluminium, bare metal, galvanized surface, not on plastic. And now, because we're recording, I would say not on putty. There is a way, but I won't say it now. This dries. If you use it wet on wet with a 1.3 nozzle, not bigger, okay? I add 5% or just a little bit of, 0.555. This is our reagent. It's very important. It dries with this very fast and has also, because of this product, a good coverage. And it's dry in 1 minute and 57 seconds. You can sand it. Okay. And here you would have around, say, between 30 and 40 microns. This is for a wet on wet application. Dry, as I'm saying, dry in 1 minute 57, but air dried, also forced dried. But only the surface, if I touch it, is dry. It's not thoroughly inside dry. So here you'd have to say, if you dried it, force dried it, then you would have to wait another, say, between 8 maximum 15 minutes, depending on how thick you've applied the product. It's a really good problem solver. Thermoplastic, you can also spray this on thermoplastic, no problem at all. It's also it's similar to I would call it a sealant. Okay, it's similar like a sealant.
A question. You said earlier not to spray that on plastic, and then you said thermoplastic. Okay, what's the difference?
Thermal. You have PP. Oh God, all the well, the thermoplastic in America. You have. Correct me.
Well, we have a lot of plastics, polypropylene, styrene, polyethylene, you know, there's a lot of different plastics. But when you say earlier, this is not for plastics, and then it's okay on thermoplastic.
No, sorry. Come back. The 4400 is okay for all the plastics.
So it is okay for all plastics.
Yeah, okay. But you have to check some because of this recycling.
Okay. The chunk in the plastic.
Oh, sorry, not the 40. Oh, now you got me confused. Thank you. 4270 plastic. Okay.
And some plastic.
Not 4400. Sorry, that was my mistake. Thank you,
So
Alex.
that's correct. The 4400 is not for plastic.
Yes.
Okay. And then the statement, okay, on thermoplastic, similar like a sealer, that we need to forget also.
Yeah. Okay. No, sealant is correct. It reacts like a sealant.
Yeah, okay. But not for thermoplastic.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, now we're gonna hurry up and have a hamburger. We'll be quick. Okay.